Hi, this is Afterthoughts with Shannon, and today I will be talking Arrow, and this is season 2, episode 17. This episode is titled Birds of Prey. So, jumping right into it, Arrow goes with the Black Canary to basically look after her father while he's on this, not a sting, but while he's on this hunt for somebody, and he goes in to arrest somebody, and turns out that it's Huntress's dad, Frank Bertinelli, I think his name is. And so now he's in custody. So at this point they know that wherever her father is, the Huntress is not too far behind because she hates him. He killed her fiance a few years back, so she's been on the hunt for him and vowed to kill him and take her revenge. So she's on her way to Starling City. Everybody knows it. So I will just get into a couple of the flashbacks. The flashbacks pretty much entail Oliver being a captive of slaves and slaves trying to leave the island. However, during the scuffle they had in the last episode, something damaged the engine, so they're unable to go, and Slade unfortunately decapitated the engineer. So he calls Sarah, who he knows is on the island, and tells her he needs someone to come over here and fix the boat, and she needs fix the ship, and he knows that someone in her party is capable of doing that. And that would be in return for Oliver's life. So she has a decision to make now. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made in this series, period. Oliver had to make the decision who lived between Sarah and Shadow. Now Sarah has to make this decision on who is going to live, Oliver or this engineer guy. And later on in the episode, they have to make another decision on who's going to live, Huntress's father or Laurel. So, towards the end of that flashback, just to sum up all the flashbacks now so I don't have to get into it later, Sarah does decide to, well, we don't know if she does in the end, but she does wrap up the engineer, and she knocks him out and then ties him up, and she contacts Slade and tells him she's made her decision. So at that point, we think she's going to do the trade. So all of a sudden we see Laurel at her AA meetings, and she discusses, hi, I'm Laurel, I'm alcoholic, blah, blah, blah. So this is why I did what I did. And after her speech, just so happens her phone rings, and it's the assistant DA offering her job back. But she's got to work on the Frank Bertinelli case. So it already sounds really, really fishy to begin with, because she's supposed to be disbarred. And he just explains that away. I know somebody in the higher ups, and, I took care of it. Don't worry about it. So it was just so easy. I'm like, wow, she's just back into her life. Ooh. But, of course, it was fishy because she turns out to be kind of their patsy, just to trap the Huntress, pretty much. Then Arrow lets Roy back on. So Roy, he talks to him at the club or whatever, and Roy is ready to go back on. It's been a few weeks, so he hasn't been out in the streets in a while. Oliver had problems with him in previous outings. Felicity gets a read on some information, and it so happens that Huntress's boyfriend, or her fiance, who died 5 years ago, rented a car, and it's on its way here, or on its way to Starling City. And Roy goes out. The guy shoots Roy in the hand. Roy goes ballistic, and he's gonna beat this guy up. And the funny part in this episode, I thought the cutest part was when he had to yell at him Speedy. He called him Speedy to snap him out of his rage, and it worked. So at that point, he decides that Roy is a danger to people around him, and definitely to his sister. So he tells him, I know you love my sister, but because you love her, you're going to break up with her. And Roy tries to break up with her. He listens to Oliver, and I was surprised that it came so easy. But Thea says, no, you're not breaking up with me. I know you're going through something. And so since she doesn't listen, Roy ends up cheating on her to kind of close the deal on that. So that was kind of sad to see Thea have to go through that. But, I guess there could have been other ways, but I guess hurt the ones you love. It is what it is. And so that kind of sucks to have to see that. Then we have this whole courtroom shootout. Laurel's going to court to do her case with on Frank Bertinelli. And of course it's a trap. They bring him in through the front doors and she finds that odd. Then all of a sudden, boom. The Huntress comes in. It's an ambush because he's wearing a wire and he's got SWAT in to come and get her. So it was just pretty much a flim flam, but the Huntress always has a backup plan. So she takes a whole bunch of hostages and tells the police that she will start killing hostages unless they turn her father over to her. So she's pretty badass in this one. Later on, we see the fight with the Huntress and Black Canary, which was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool chick fight. They have another one that was awesome. But somehow Laurel stays in the courthouse, and there's another trade where Huntress finds out Laurel's in there, so she calls Oliver and tells Oliver, now I'm going to trade for Laurel. It's Laurel for my father. So they figure out a way to get Team Arrow figures out a way to get the Huntress's dad, Bertinelli, mob boss guy. And they have a meetup. Once again, there's this awesome epic chick fight. And Canary wins this time. And just so happens some crazy SWAT guy that was at the courthouse earlier went on his own. And I think he's the one who ended up shooting her dad. The Huntress's dad, and after she finds out, she's just distraught because, you know, she wanted to do it. So she pretty much gives up at that point. They take her to jail. Oliver goes to see her in jail. She supposedly looks like she's turning a new leaf because the fact that her father died didn't make her feel any better about anything, and Oliver was right the whole time. Oh! Laurel goes back to work, and then there's this higher up lady. I'm not sure exactly who she is, but she tells Laurel that the district attorney had no authority to give her job back, and all of these charges against her still stand. So I could see her heart fall. I mean, my heart fell for her. I just felt so bad, like, dang, she went through all of that and still she can't have her job back. But at least it looks like she worked for it now. So at the end, she's about to leave and she turns around like, no, you are going to give me my job back, because do you want the media to know that it was the district attorney in this office that set up this thing and got a whole bunch of hostages and people killed in the courthouse? Do you want the media to know that? And so the lady was like, wow, all right, you're hired. And kind of dark for you, huh? And so she repeats some line that the Huntress told her, which was kind of corny. So that was that. And then towards the very end, we see Thea walking by herself. She wanted to be alone, didn't want Oliver to give her a ride, but then Slade pulls up in his stretch limousine and offers her a ride, and she gets in. So I don't understand that. But I was like, wow, okay, so he's got Thea. I wonder if he's really going to take her home. Probably not. So here we go. But why would you get in the car, Thea? Damn it. So yeah, I'll give this episode a C. It was alright. I was a little upset that I was going to be seeing Huntress, but she wasn't too bad. She's kind of growing on me a little bit. And that's about it. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be seeing you later. Ta-ta.